Hi, welcome to this tutorial on no folder. The first stage is to go to Google, which obviously I've just googled Google, and you type Linux CentOS. This is of course if you haven't actually originally already got the installation set up. Okay, so for downloading, this is actually specifically telling you it's not an easy website to navigate, but if you read it, it's kind of why I'm doing this actually, because I find it could be easy. And I'm going to use the Oxford University one. Okay, and I want the latest version 6.4. Okay, I want the ISOs. What I always do, I'm running on 64-bit. That's what that last bit relates to. Okay, so I always pick the largest one and then the twin. Okay, this is a live DVD. You don't want that. Okay, so you save the file. Okay, and that's cooking. It'll take 2 hours. When that's completed, I'm going to download this one. Okay, those are the ISOs that you need. Okay, so we downloaded this file. It's twin, and then here they are. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start up VirtualBox, which you can use to run this as a virtual machine. I mean, you don't have to run it as a virtual machine, but I would say most people are gonna. Okay, so I'm just gonna call it no folder. It doesn't really matter, because it's CentOS. It's actually Linux Red Hat, so you need to sort of tell it so it knows how to set it up. Give it a minimum of 1024 RAM because it won't run the installation GUI correctly otherwise. Create a virtual hard drive now, why not? Okay, I always make it VHD, it doesn't really matter, but I always make it dynamic to save some space. I think 30 is enough, because you don't really need a lot. This is purely for a demo. Okay. In the settings, we're gonna go straight to network, and we're going to change it to bridged. What that does is, there's a jet going over the top. What that means is that the network card that we have on the server, on this computer here that I'm using, will try to offer 2 IP addresses, so it will be a genuinely new device on the network, using the network card which we pick here as like a switch. So it becomes like a blinking light box, even though it's not real. It's a virtual one, but that's the way to do it. Okay, and we're going to start the machine. The first thing it's going to say, here it is where is my CD drive? Well, there is these ISOs are what we're going to put in the CD drive. So it's all virtual. So there isn't a CD drive, but these are the virtual discs. This is the virtual CD drive or DVD. Okay, and we're going to put it in, and it's got some information up here. Okay, so we're just going to install. Now this I actually knew was coming. This is because I've got a 64-bit computer host. My desktop here is 64-bit, but I haven't enabled the BIOS. So what I'm going to do now is pause the video, and I'm going to show you how to alter the BIOS so that 64 bits exists for VirtualBox, because at the moment VirtualBox only run on 32 bits because I haven't enabled the BIOS. Okay, so this is a 64-bit machine, 64-bit server download, ISO, which is correct, but in the middle is a VirtualBox that can't marry the two up. Okay, so we're going to fix that. Okay, here we are in our ASUS BIOS. This is a reasonably modern, I don't know the name of the BIOS, but it's a reasonably modern setup. We have to go to advanced mode here, which uses the mouse, which is kind of nice. Say yes. Okay. More advanced up here. I actually had to. It took me about 6 minutes to find this. It's way too many options. Okay, and then it's on this screen under advanced and under CPU configuration. Okay, but the problem is you don't see it at first. Okay, because hyperthreading is enabled, and you go, okay, well, that's not quite the same. Okay, so you go down, and there it is. Voila, Intel virtualization technology disabled. So we're going to enable that. Okay, and then we're going to exit. Save changes and reset, and you say yes. Okay. And this will allow that setting to 64-bit thing to start to work. Okay, so we start again. Make sure that we do the whole thing again, but this time we're picking 64-bit Red Hat. Okay, so this option was missing before, but we've now enabled the BIOS, so we can do it. Unfortunately, you have to delete the whole thing. You get a little 64-bit there. Okay, so I'm just going through this so that you can sort of see the right way to kind of go forward. I believe in doing everything with you, so it's kind of slow, but it's there forever. Okay. Wait, I have to cancel that because I didn't change the network, did I? Okay. So you'll notice that it's now a new VM. It's not a 32-bit virtual machine. It's now a 64-bit. Okay, which means I have to delete it. Okay. Okay, so oops. Devices, and I'm just gonna use this one. It's kind of what happened before. I just put in the CD differently. Okay. So now it will work lovely. It's telling me about the mouse situation and the keyboard. Basically, right control is going to put me in or out of this window. Okay. I always see it's going to tell me this. Okay, so I'm going to skip that because I don't care about checking the media. Okay, now it suddenly got very big. I'm going to pause it, and that'll give me the opportunity to make a better video. Hang on. Okay, so I've made the screen a little bit bigger so you can see it, because one of the freaks about CentOS, which I don't like, is it's a very large screen resolution. Okay, it's unnecessarily big in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to use the Alt key, which you can't see me using. I'm going to use the Alt N. Okay, it's going to take me through. Obviously, we're living in the, well, you don't know that unless you know my voice, but we're living in the UK, so right through. Okay, basic is fine. Okay, yes, discard any data. Okay, so I'm just going to call it no folder. We could go into that in more detail if we wanted. Let's look at configure network. I think it's probably okay to keep it. Yeah, this is the thing. I remember now. For some reason that is very strange. It doesn't matter, keep it automatic. It doesn't connect automatically when you start the computer. And here's your chance. You can do it in the OS, but it's nice to do it now. It's a bit of a gotcha. Okay, so now I'm going to go to Europe and London. Okay. And this is going to be my password. Use all the space. Right to the disk. Okay. Right, this is important. I want to do a C. Alt C, and then I want to do a desktop. Now, you don't need a desktop, but I've found that in modern hardware terms, the desktop doesn't take anything away, and it gives you the possibility of going into it later. So I kind of use it, even though I don't really need to. Okay, so I'm going to put the server and the client for MySQL on. This is great, by the way. You don't really get this as good when you're inside. You get it, but it's not quite as well laid out. Okay. So we want that, and I think that. We need that, and the rest we don't need. Okay. You can do it another way, but it's nice to do it now. So you can see it's progressing at its own speed. I will pause it and come back in when something interesting to show you. Okay. Right control to come out. Okay, so now we're going to do the reboot. It finished fine. I'll have to give the focus back to the screen. Okay. Okay. Eventually it'll boot. I mean, this is kind of important because of the... Obviously we've got to set it up within the network, so I'm going to give it an IP address. I can't explain to you networks. This is a desktop user. I always do the same. I'm sure this is probably not so advised, but in my experience, doing things simply wins, especially for doing a demonstration. Okay. It always says that, and it never matters. I don't know what it means. It always says insufficient memory for a kdump, and it doesn't make any difference. Okay, so I kind of lost my install bit there. I've created a user called administrator. I had to delete the file. It didn't record the picture for some reason. Okay, so here we are. I'm just going to change the keyboard to the UK one. Log in. Okay. And here we are. Voila, we're inside no folder. Nothing's installed at the moment, but it's there, running as it should. So the first thing I do is go in here, go super user, and then do that. We're obviously on the internet. The bridging has worked. I've not had to do anything since I just put it on DHCP and made it start automatically. Okay. The new update is basically like Windows Update. Okay, so it's going to go through all the files and then try and apply them. Here we go. So it's doing an update. You say yeah. And there's quite a lot of packages, but that's okay. It's a new install, so that's how we do. So while that's cooking, that's basically going to be a brand new system. Now I can talk to you a little bit more about how to use it in the next video, but that's it for now. Getting to the starting point where we're going to start.